Welcome to the Above and Beyond Affiliate Marketing Podcast, where faith, mindset, and strategy come together to help entrepreneurs, affiliate marketers, and e-commerce builders create something meaningful. Hello there, I'm your host, Jason Ryland, and joining me on this journey is researcher and questionnaire for our listeners, Sophia. Would you like to say a few words?
Thanks, Jay. If you're ready to grow your business, renew your thinking, and build something that truly matters, you're in the right place.
Welcome to the Above and Beyond Affiliate Marketing Podcast, where faith, mindset, and strategy come together to help entrepreneurs, affiliate marketers, and e-commerce builders create something meaningful. Hello there, I'm your host, Jason Ryland.
Hey there, and I am Sophia.
All right, my friends, let's start with a truth that most people eventually discover on the journey of building something. The truth is, most people believe power lives somewhere outside of them. They believe success comes from the algorithm, or from the economy, or from, let's say, timing, from luck even. But real builders, eventually learn something different. Entrepreneurs learn something absolutely different. The real power isn't outside of you. The real power is how you think, how you decide, how you act. And more than 100 years ago, Thomas Troward explained this in The Hidden Power. He talked about something ancient teachers called the lost word of power. But here is the strange thing, you guys. This word isn't hidden. You say it every single day. And that word is I am. And today, we're going to explore why those two words carry more influence than most people ever realize. So let's start with this very first principle. It's a place of power. Okay, so Sherwood actually begins by explaining that the human beings are part of what he calls the infinite harmony of all being. In other words, we are not separate from the creative forces of the universe. We are part of the system which creation actually happens. So think of this. Think of sunlight. You see, sunlight shines everywhere. But when sunlight passes through a lens, it now becomes a more focused power and powerful enough to ignite something. Human consciousness works that very same way. Universal life flows everywhere, but the human mind focuses it. Now think about this for a second. From the perspective of the builders and the entrepreneurs, okay? Every company begins as an idea. Every e-commerce store begins as an idea. Every affiliate campaign begins as an idea. Creation begins in the mind. And this connects directly with faith. Genesis tells us humanity was created in the image of God. Not physically, but creatively. God creates. And the human beings were designed to create as well.
Jay, when people hear that humanity occupies what Troward calls the place of power, it can sound abstract. How does that actually apply to someone building a business today?
So, Sophia, it means creation flows through people. The ideas that people build companies, the insights that create marketing systems, the innovation that solves problems, all originate in human consciousness. Entrepreneurs are constantly participating in that creative process. And once someone understands that role, the next question becomes obvious. If the human mind participates in creation, what does that mean for our potential? And that's exactly where Troward actually goes next, is the infinite possibility. Troward explains that our possibilities expand as we realize our connection to the infinite. So let me explain. He uses this mathematics as an example. So compare any number to infinity: 10, 1,000, a million. Now compare that to infinity, that's a real difference really disappears. Because by ourselves, we may appear limited, but once we understand our connection to something greater, possibility expands. Entrepreneurs see this all the time. Where most people see obstacles, builders see opportunity. Where most people see competition, builders see differentiation. Possibility expands when thinking expands, and faith reinforces this idea as well. Scripture repeatedly reminds us that with God, all things are possible.
So, the real limitation for entrepreneurs is often not opportunity, but belief.
Exactly. Belief determines action, action determines results. And when belief expands, people begin experimenting, building, and creating. But that leads to another important question. If infinite power exists, why do some people grow faster than others? And this is where I'd like to introduce that next idea, is that law of growth. Now, Troward actually explains this part of law of growth. It's the source of power may be infinite, but our capacity to express it grows over time. So, everybody, think of a pipe connected to the ocean. The ocean is infinite, right? But the size of the pipe determines how much water flows through. Entrepreneurship works the same way. At the beginning, your skills are small, your systems are small, your understanding is small. But through learning, through failure, and through persistence, your capacity expands. Faith also echoes this principle. Now, Jesus often talked about faith growing from a mustard seed into something greater. Growth is built into the system.
So, growth isn't about creating power, it's about expanding our ability to express it.
Yes, because the the power already is there. It already exists. Growth expands the channel. And that leads to one of the most empowering statements actually Troward makes, is unlimited potential. Because we are what we are. We may become what we will. Your current position is not permanent. Your current results are not final. Every successful entrepreneur started somewhere small. Every successful affiliate marketer once had zero traffic. Every successful brand once had zero customers. Growth is always possible. Faith reinforces this as well. Scripture reminds us that transformation begins with the renewing of the mind. Life is not fixed, it's evolving.
Holy wow. That idea alone could change how someone sees their future. For sure.
Yeah, it absolutely can. Because once someone realizes identity can change, the next question becomes, what determines identity? And that leads us directly to the lost word of power. Now, that lost word, the word of power Troward describes is simple. It's the phrase, I am. Every time you say, I am, you declare identity. And identity directs behavior. Someone who says, I'm just trying this business thing, behaves differently than someone who says, I'm a builder. Identity shapes persistence. Identity will shape discipline. Identity shapes action. And this connects deeply with faith. When Moses asked God his name, God answered, I am that I am. The creator of the universe identified himself with the words I am. Every human being speaks those same words every single day. That doesn't make us God, of course, but it reminds us that the identity connects us to the creative source of life.
So, what follows the words I am becomes incredibly important?
Yes, because identity shapes behavior, and behavior shapes outcomes. And that brings me to the law of polarity. Now, Troward actually explains that the universal spirit expresses itself through individuals. Everything in nature works through polarity, inside and outside, cause and effect, universal and individual. In that same way, creative intelligence expresses itself through human consciousness. Builders are one example of that. Entrepreneurs create solutions, creators create ideas. Innovation flows through individuals.
So, Jay, individuals become the channel through which creation happens?
Yeah, exactly, Sophia. And science actually supports this idea. And this I actually brings me to another point of conservation of energy. Now, science tells us energy cannot be destroyed. It only changes form. Electricity becomes light, fuel becomes motion, thought becomes action. Every business begins as a thought, right? So every marketing campaign begins as a thought. Thought is a starting point of creation. Then faith aligns here too. Now, scripture will tell us, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he.
So, thinking literally shapes the direction of our lives?
Yes. Thought becomes creative influence. But there's an important distinction. Not all thoughts carry the same power. And this is where I get into um, a more persistent thought. Casual thoughts are weak. Everybody, come on. But persistent thoughts shape outcomes. Scattered thinking produces scattered lives. We have talked about this prior. Focused thinking produces progress. Entrepreneurs understand this intuitively. Focused builders outperform distracted builders every single time. Faith calls this renewing the mind. Discipline in thinking leads to transformation.
So, mental discipline becomes one of the most important skills someone can develop?
Oh, yes, absolutely, Sophia, because creative power must be directed. And this will actually bring me to my next point of directed power. Is creative power can build, right? And also creative power can destroy. Like water can be a dam, right? Directed, it can produce energy. Uncontrolled, it produces destruction. Thought works the same way. Concentrated thinking multiplies creative power. This is why clarity and focus are so powerful for entrepreneurs.
Okay. Now, what you are saying is that focus itself becomes a form of power?
Yeah, and here I'm going to give an example. Focus concentrates energy, right? And when thinking becomes ordered, freedom appears. And this is that perfect liberty. So now, Troward concludes by explaining that freedom from disordered thinking leads to perfect liberty. Most people are controlled by their thoughts. But when we learn to direct them, we gain a freedom. Freedom from fear, freedom from doubt, freedom from chaos. And in this perfect liberty produces perfect power. Now, I'm going to close today with this challenge for you guys. It's going to be something simple, so don't panic. So pay attention though, because I want you to follow the words I am. Okay? Pay attention to that, because whenever you follow those words, it will begin to shape your identity. Stop saying, I am stuck, I am unlucky, I am not capable, but start declaring something different. I am growing, I am learning, I am building, I am becoming the person God designed me to be. Because the power you're searching for is not outside of you. The power you're searching for is the power that says, I am. And because you are what you are, you may become what you will. And thank you for joining us today on this journey here at Above and Beyond Affiliate Marketing Podcast. And don't forget to join us for the next part of this series, where we'll be discussing the basic law of the human mind and how it directly relates to your business, your mindset, and your growth as an entrepreneur. Trust me, guys, you're not going to want to miss it. This just keeps getting better and better and deeper. So now, if today's episode resonated with you, we'd love to hear from you. Be sure to share this episode and leave a comment. Let us know which part stood out most to you, and we will post it. Or even if you have any questions. We're so excited also to announce that our new website will be launching soon at www.theaboveandbeyondpodcast.com. It's not quite ready yet, as I thought so, but once it is, you'll be the first to know. If you'd like to be notified when the site does launch, simply just email us at theaboveandbeyondpodcast@gmail.com, and we will make sure you're on the list. And trust me, you're gonna want to be. Until next time, this is Above and Beyond Affiliate Marketing with your host, me, Jason Ryland, and our special guest, Sophia.
Have a great day, everybody. See you in the next episode. I am so excited.